Diligence. This is a live music dissection event series that we'll be throwing in Philly. We thought it was important. Whoa, first and foremost. Hi, I'm Marquise. Nice to meet y'all. Hello. Here. And I have a wonderful, lovely co-host over here named.
I'm Balmour. Check me out on all things.
Yes, he's a wonderful singer as well. But welcome to Due Diligence. This is an event where we wanted to also dissect local and emerging artists and their work, because the same way we will go through a Hove, Beyonce, a Kendrick project, we want to make sure that local artists get the same opportunity who are putting out quality albums and quality projects that are important to come back to and revisit. So today, I'm so excited to welcome Namarah to the space as well. Hello.
Hi. I'm so happy to be here. This is fun.
No, thank you so much. And we wanted Namarah because we thought she would be the ultimate first choice when it came to this kind of project, because she was so thorough with DEIA, and we'll get to learn a little bit more about that project today. But first and foremost, we want to thank Rec Philly for allowing us into this space, so thank y'all so much. Also, on top of that, thank you, Tyler, wherever you're at right now. Okay, we appreciate you with the video, boom, boom. But we also want to thank everybody else for coming and supporting us as well, everybody who donated and everybody who bought their tickets and decided to show up. This event doesn't exist without y'all. So, without further ado, welcome to Due Diligence. Welcome, Namarah. This is a wonderful, wonderful woman, educator, what else? Traveler, musician, artist, overall. So y'all are really gonna be in for a treat today between the music and the conversation that we get into a lot. So one more time, give her a round of applause. Thank you all. But before the interview starts, we're gonna hear some music. So start us off.
What's them?
Sure.
But my man in a daydream, ain't no question of what he thinks. Even when I feel alone, I'm wrong, he's there, he comes right back, he's there for me. I'm my man in a daydream, ain't no question of what he thinks. Even when I feel alone, I'm wrong, he's there, he comes right back. Every day I'm going home, the pressure's gone, I'm lost and so much left for you. I feel the sun on my skin, you're there within me. My heart is full to the brim. Ain't no reason to complain, because my man's got a hand that's strong for me. Everyone can clearly see, and when we roll out deep. But my man in a daydream, ain't no question of what he thinks. Even when I feel alone and wrong, he's there, he comes right back, he's there for me. But a man in a daydream, ain't no question of what he thinks. Even when I feel alone and wrong, he's there, he comes right back. So turn the lights down low. This is me and you, and my eyes are closed, and I know there's nowhere I can go. You see my direction and direct my steps while we flow. I hold on tight, we zip and fly. I'm enjoying the ride. You bring out the best all that I can be. I hang on to every single word you speak. In your light, I breathe, I'm free. I see nobody can come this true thing. Knowing you have is a real thing. You won't take away your love from me. Beginning to end, you will stick by me. Comfort and friend, you always guide me. Yeah, but my man in a daydream, and I need some water for a moment. Even when I feel alone or wrong, he's there, he comes right back, he's there for me. I'm my man in a daydream, and don't question what he thinks. things. Even when I feel alone and wrong, instead he comes right back. He said da 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 da
Thank you.
Yo, can we give Namarah another round of applause, man, for starting us off so strong? Yeah. So can you talk to us about that track? The name is B2B, right? Yeah.
Yes.
What does it mean to you? Because I'm listening to the track, and you did like a really stripped down version,
Yeah.
which was beautiful. But this is my favorite song on the tape.
Really?
Yeah, man, I'm listening to it, and I'm getting so much Dark Child, Roddy Jerkins, I'm getting Trinity 5-7, I'm getting
Wow,
girl
you're
groups.
gonna laugh at the inspiration.
So can you tell us about
You were
it?
so on, huh?
I mean, here's the truth. So I'm a whole nerd, and I like weird stuff. And I mean, not weird, but you know, you guys, did anyone even watch the movie Twilight? So you know the ha 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 ha. I said, well, what happens if I were just to chop that that kind of was the inspiration for that sound. And I felt like that would create this 90s vibe. I was like, ooh, let me act like I'm straight up SVW over here, and then try to do something. And then that's what happened. So I was sitting in my friend's apartment. It was in Ithaca, New York, and I sat in the bed and I said, what do y'all think about this? Da, 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 da. And they're like, well, it sounds like something I've heard before. I was like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And then I just, that hook just kind of kept going. And I said, you know what? How often do we hear like laughter from a female voice in, you know, those hip songs? Usually don't. You actually, when you hear someone laugh, it's usually an MC, and it's a dude, like Hove, like huh, 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 right? You have like all of those laughter moments. But I thought about how beautiful it would actually sound to hear a woman laugh as a song. So I just had to create this like laughter moment. So that's the source there.
Yeah, no, that joint is fire. And like something I really appreciate when you even break it down like that, like that's a very particular memory that you had. And I think that speaks to the larger project as well. So DEIA overall, you start this joint off with dreams. And to me, that is a very thematic thing that you had throughout this entire.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I saw it.
I'm a concept album gal.
Yeah, which is what I appreciate. So you're talking about dreams and you're going through this entire space. So I would love to just pull it back real quick. Talk about DEIA overall and like what this means to you, because I saw it kind of like a love letter to yourself, but I felt like I was also in your diary. So,
You were.
And what?
A little bit. So DEIA is an album that is about coming home to yourself. It's about coming back home to who you are, and what it feels like to kind of deviate when the whole world has been trying to tell you who you are, and you start listening, but it feels like part of you is dying. And part of you is dying because you know that you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not listening to your true self. And when you actually allow yourself to go through that process of, I'm gonna let this go, I'm gonna let the way that the world saw me go and go back to who I know who I'm supposed to be, who I'm called to be. And there's a healing that happens. And so dreams, that first question is, where do we go to heal? And it was like a two-way form. Like, you know, a lot of us will go to heal, and it's actually maybe coping. We think that we're healing, but we're actually coping because we might take naps, or we might throw ourselves into video games, or we might go shopping, or we might do so many different things that really just allow us to practice this escape mentality. And dreaming is really a place where you're supposed to get inspiration and healing. But the way that we dream right now is actually you're putting yourself in psychosis, and I didn't want that life. And so that song, that first one, was just kind of this opening up of the question of where am I actually going to go if I actually allow myself to dream again? What happens?
That's smooth. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, so bringing it back to dreams. So I did some due diligence.
You see what we did there? You see what we did
Shame,
there?
Shameless plug.
Period. Okay.
And I read,
saw.
you see it. I read that you actually, before you sit down to script these songs out, or before you sit down to record these things, you hear the melodies. Sometimes you receive them in dreams, right?
Yes, yes.
And that feels like a superpower to me. I wish it was so easy for me to sit down and organically create like that. So can you talk to us about, what that feels like to kind of receive a gift like that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I were to tell you that some of those songs I wrote, that would be me lying. I really did hear it from, I don't know what everyone's religious backgrounds is, but I talk to God in public and in private. And so I would have these dreams where I would see myself singing and speaking, but I knew it wasn't. You know when you're in your dream and you're like, this is me, but it's not really me? Like, that was what was happening in my dreams. And so I would wake up and I would just write and write and write. And then I'd look back and be like, I wrote that? But it's an allowing that starts to happen. It's allowing life to run its course in you and through you, and then God will start to put all of the puzzle pieces in a way that you look back and you say, wow, like I actually just want to narrate and capture this moment. And capturing the moment is usually what I'm doing in those moments where sounds might come, or it might hit my whole body, or the whole song just might hit me, and then I have to catch it.
Which I think we talked about it a little bit on the way here too. Like, what we all were kind of into it is like your position, like as an artist, but also someone who is spiritual and religious. You play a very specific space, and also specifically like as a Black woman too, right?
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
and navigating that entire space. So, can you talk to us a little bit more about even that persona, but also you as a performer? Like, what does it mean to have all of these intersecting identities lay straight through your music?
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a lot of people telling me that I had to choose whether I was going to do gospel or not because I had said that I'm a Christian artist. And I was
Duality should exist.
Huh?
I said duality should exist.
And so that was something that was really hard for me because my voice does not necessarily lend to a gospel sound. Now, my sister, she could sing gospel out the wazoo. Like, my whole family is musical. But I just knew that the way that I even make sound is not typical. And when I would go to different A&R reps and I would show them my music, they're like, wow, your voice is beautiful, but we don't know how to market you. And that was something that I consistently heard all over the place. And I feel like, especially being an African-American woman, we have to create spaces for ourselves because they want to put us in different roles that we didn't actually ask for or actually said that we wanted. Even though we can do a lot of things, it doesn't mean that I'm actually going to do them, right? And so when someone would come up to me and say, oh, well, you know what, you should do CCM, which is Christian contemporary music, or you should do gospel, I was like, yo, neither of those actually fit me. Like, actually fit me. Because when I would go to certain musicians, they'd be like, well, this is how you would, make it sound this way. And I was like, but I don't like it to sound this way. I loved listening to funk. I loved listening to 80s, like Wham, and I loved listening to Prince. I loved listening to like the wailing of a guitar when he would, go, like there's emotion and there's a lot of depth that sometimes when you want to stay in certain kind of genres and tones, you're limiting your creative capacity to express your music. And I just knew that I wasn't going to be that kind of person. And so when I had so many people tell me that they didn't know how to market me, the very first thing that I had to do was like, well, I'm going to have to figure out how to market myself because y'all ain't going to get it.
And you did it, and you did.
Agreed.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
I'm thinking, and as you're talking, I'm thinking about certain artists that I grew up who transitioned away or segued away from gospel. So I'm thinking about Molly Music.
Right.
I'm thinking about people like Chance the Rapper who fuse gospel with other contemporary elements, even Kanye West, Kirk Franklin. But specifically Molly Music, who kind of got caught in a weird spot after his transition because they knew him as a gospel guy. But when he dropped Molly Is and the other 2 tapes, he kind of grew out of that.
Oh, you
But
still
listen, I'm a big
rock with
fan.
Jesus, Molly? And
Come
they were
on,
like,
man.
yo, it's not even about that.
Right. But he fuses all these other elements into his music.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really good stuff. And the things that I'm listening from you it's just really, really, really good stuff. And I'm glad that you're not letting anybody encapsulate you into where they think you should be. I wanted to ask a question about, you said something interesting when we were talking about dreams. You talked about kind of you straying away from. Are you talking about straying away from your relationship with God? Are you talking about straying away from your roots? Like, what were you talking about there?
It was a little bit of both. I mean, maybe a little bit of everything in between. So when I was writing the album, God and I were fighting, okay? So we were fighting. It's fine. And and so I was writing this in this place because I felt like, so many things that I had committed to was being like, you know what, Lord, like, I'm going to do this for you, and it's going to be, like, great, and all of these things. And I would just find, like, I would find moments where I was frustrated or just feel like I was not in exactly the right place at all. Like, bad relationships, bad people, like, just constantly choosing things that just were not for me. And I was like, there's either something wrong with me or this whole thing is just, like, a bunch of crap. And so I felt like I needed to heal. And in my healing, I realized that I was trying so many other people's. You guys know that that story of Goldilocks and who would go and visit the 3 bears, right? Like trying the hot porridge, and you're like, this is not it. This is not it. Oh, this is just right. I felt like I was doing so many things that the world was telling me to do, and I don't mean like the world, like the church lingo, Christianese stuff. No, I mean like literally just reality. And instead, actually doing the process of getting to know who I am, getting to know what a relationship with God is to me specifically. And then I found myself going into nature a lot. Like I found myself waking up early, like 4 o'clock in the morning, and watching the moon and listening to the wind and seeing how God spoke to me through nature. And then I noticed that when I would have conversations with friends, that I noticed that certain things would hit my stomach a certain way, and I was like, wow, God just spoke to me through this person. Or I would open up a book and I would read, and there were just certain things where I was like, wow, you're literally talking to me through everything.
But I think that's the cool shit right there.
That is cool.
And I think it's cool because even I watch a lot of your live performances as well, and you incorporate movement into those. And
you're going to see some movement.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited.
Yes. But that to me is so exciting because it's hitting all aspects, but you're allowed to see how your music moves you and provokes you to move in a different kind of space, I guess is the word to use. And I think it's so dope because to me, when an artist gets lost into their music and gets lost, and it's a calculated loss too, right? So your movement is still very, okay.
I got to remember to talk into the microphone.
That part.
Same.
But I think that stuff is so cool to me. So to me, I really love a good live performance. And what you do is really encapsulate all of that between the musicianship and the movement and the performance and your voice. And so I'm looking forward to these next 2 songs that you got for us as well. So
Yes.
You have a question before we lead off to the?
No, I don't want to wait.
No, we're going to hear her sing. You're tired of hearing men talk.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
it's all yours.
Yeah, it's
once
sweet.
again.
What's the song that I got after? I think it's Talk to Me. Is it Windows? Oh, great. 8. Oh, okay. I was going to say, y'all don't mind if I just come in, like, be in your space a little bit, right? I love it when you said absolutely not. Like, there was a conviction that you just had to, like, okay. All right, well, I'm ready. And so if you want to move, I don't do like actual dancing when I'm wearing dresses, but I still gotta move. So if you want to do that, you can. This song is called Windows. Yeah. Hey. If you listen close, any sound will tell you it's so. Eyes will never know the precious things, they're invisible. You cannot catch it. Trust me, you'll feel it. Hey. Your body's a window. Hey. So stop, think on it. Dreams can come on when it all sinks in. You drink on it every time that you're breathing in. It's a free flow when you know your body's a window. Just be in flow. Let it all go. Just be in flow. Just be in flow. Let it all go. Just be in flow. Hey, I ain't been here, been watching, been here waiting for signs. Signs, signs, signs. Seeds are planted, I'm patient, don't grow overnight. Do you think the trees ever question what they might be? Or maybe babies wasting time wishing they could leave. Not stressing over nothing. The trees are windows. So stop, think on it. Dreams can come when it all sinks in. You drink on it every time that you're breathing in. It's a free flow, free flow. When you know body's a window. Just be in flow. Just be in flow, 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 flow. When you think about the sky, what do you do when you open up your eyes and see it wide? Do you know that where you are right now is actually just a window for you to flow through? Do you know what it feels like when the wind bursts through? When the wind bursts through, you see, you have the wind on the inside. You have the wind on the outside. Don't you want to be the wind? I just want to be the wind. See, I just want to flow. I just want to move. I just want to grow with those trees that already know who they've been designed to be. Because that's how it means to flow. Cause do you think the trees ever question what they might be? Do you? Do you? Do you think the leaves ever wondered if they could sing? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya? I need you to do something with your body, because I'm noticing that some of y'all are a little bit locked up, right? So I need you to do just yeah, do it with your hand. Just rock with it. Just rock with it. Yeah, just. Do you know what it means to allow the energy to flow through? See, I saw you like, yes, because that's what it means to just allow the things to flow through you. You see, when we walk in this space and we act like things are locked up, do you know how many things you are locking up in your life? Do you know how many things you are actually locking up in your life because you don't allow it to flow through you? Some of the emotions that are sitting on the inside of your heart and the side of your mind because you're not allowing it to flow through you. Just be in flow. Just be in flow. Just be in flow, 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 flow. So that song is called Windows.
it's the instrument, you see. Aha, aha, aha. Yes. All right. See the stones I've placed all around you, they color your name. I have granted all heaven to guard you in your desert and rain. So come, child, and walk on the water with me. Don't you know who you are? Come on, child, there's a path I have laid at your feet. Don't you know whose you are? You In the shadow of my hand I hold you. Why worry or fear? I have planned you before they have known you, and your place is right here. And so as I elevate you, death tried to face you, but still you are. I have aimed the perfect arrow, I shot the mark in the midst of the dark. Come, child, and walk on the water with me. Don't you know who you are? Come, child, there's a path I've laid at your feet. Don't you know whose you are? So come out of the darkness and into the light. Out of the darkness, and I gave you a light. Out of the darkness and into the light.